I forgot. You're broken. I don't want to play with you anymore.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. I don't ever plan on running for politics. The closest I'll ever get is I will accept Donald Trump's role as press secretary. I would love to have that job. I will do it for $0. Hire me, and you will have the most entertaining press conferences in the history of the presidency. I know where all the skeletons are buried. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. I do, however, on occasion, speak, obviously, to live audiences, speak to, our live show, the internet, every day, what we do here. And what if I was talking to a live audience, right? Luncheon or something somewhere. We did this at the RNC just this past week. And you were in the audience, and I took the microphone, and I was like, hey, do you understand about Joe Biden? Like, what if I dumbed down everything I was saying to like idiot level, like conversation, right? What if I stupefied, right? The language I was using, you'd be very insulted. You'd say like, F you, right? Rightfully so. Because like, you think I'm stupid? Why would you do that? I would never do that. Kamala Harris will do the exact same thing if you put her in front of the right audience. Yeah. Kamala Harris will start talking like foghorn leghorn at events like these.
I think he's going to get in.
I think he gonna get in.
I said to the congressman, I didn't know he could preach like that.
Oh, gosh. And it's always followed up by that horrible cringe laugh. Okay, so I think it's degrading, all right? I think it's degrading when anyone does this. I don't care if they're half Indian and Jamaican, like Kamala Harris. I don't care if they're Joe Biden, all right? Which is about as translucent as you can get. I don't care what party they come from. When you purposely degrade the way you talk and speak, depending on the race of the group of people you're talking to, that makes you a bad person. Joe Biden famously said Republicans are going to put you all back in chains when talking to a black audience in the Virginias in the 2012 race. And this is disqualifying. I mean, it's agitating. It's agitating race relations. And it's bad, right? It's bad politics. And I think degrading people by talking to them like this, I think it's bad. I don't like anybody who does it. Somebody who talks the same way to white or black people, and you can put a pin in this, is President Trump, because you've seen this actually happen. And I think that like Trump's the same person no matter the color of the skin of the people he's talking to, which I think is actually very honorable, right? And so when you're like pantomiming some type of goofball like Aunt Jemima, Gone with the Wind kind of thing, he looks so stupid, but it also is very degrading to the people you're talking to. Kamala Harris has now been called out by a group who I don't like at all, but a group that I guess I'm going to have to side with. And for the purposes of this story, Black Lives Matter is taking issue with the way that Kamala Harris was chosen as the party's presumptive nominee. They demand the DNC host a virtual snap primary. We do not live in a dictatorship, says Black Lives Matter. Delegates are not oligarchs. Installing Kamala Harris in the Democratic nominee and an unknown vice president without any public voting process would make the modern Democratic Party a party of hypocrites. Am I now a fan of Black Lives Matter? This is insane. Black Lives Matter says Democrats are a party of hypocrites for installing Harris in a dictatorship style. This is amazing. Black Lives Matter comment on Kamala Harris securing enough delegates to become a Democratic nominee. Now, mark my words, this is because BLM This is because BLM wants to install somebody more radical than Kamala Harris. They find a hard time doing that. She was listed as the most liberal senator in the Senate. She's a psychotic, wild-eyed, wine-aunt, Xanaxed up, crazy radical, like cat lady radical, like psychotic. Kamala Harris is a wild-eyed sociopath. Look what she just did to Joe Biden. I mean, it's like completely evil. But BLM is totally right in principle here, something I've never said before, in saying that this was completely and totally rigged. That like nobody actually liked Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris, for her part, has tried as hard as she can to supplant the support of BLM in interviews like this, as BLM rioters were burning, torching, killing throughout America. She said, keep going.
There are protests still happening in major cities across the United States. I'm just not seeing the reporting on it that I had
that's right.
for the first few weeks.
That's right. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And they're not, this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not. And
not going to let up, and they should not. Kamala Harris is somebody who also tried to fundraise for the people who burned down Minneapolis and killed and marauded their way through. I say killed because there are dozens of people killed in these protests, and many of them were black. So does that make me the protector of the black lives more than the actual rioters? That I actually care about that and don't want that to happen, right? Like isn't that important to this conversation? No? All right. Kamala Harris just wants to bail them out of jail, right? These murderers, these arsonists, these insurrectionists. BLM can spot a coup. Black Lives Matter. We do not live in a dictatorship. Delegates are not oligarchs. Installing Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee without the process would make the modern Democrat Party a party of hypocrites. Can't believe it. Here's BLM. A tweet that I would probably send, actually. Timeline of events. Joe Biden drops out. Kamala Harris announces election campaign with Biden endorsement. Kamala says she's going to work to earn the nomination. Kamala Harris makes calls to party delegates. Kamala continues making calls to party delegates. Kamala Harris makes 2 public speeches. AP announces Kamala has secured enough delegates to be the nominee. Kamala releases a statement that she has worked hard to get out and earn this nomination. A 24-hour process. To party bosses is not democratic, nor is it process Democrats should be proud of. We do not live in a dictatorship. Delegates are not oligarchs. Good for them. Good for them. You know, like, we say this a lot. Broke clock is right twice a day. Okay? Incredible. So they don't like Kamala Harris. Super strange. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you like this the PTA, librarian, like unhappy librarian dancing by herself at Chili's during happy hour, which is Kamala Harris here. Kamala Harris's creepy Southern accent. I mean, I think this is part of the reason. I think this is part of the reason to like deeply dislike her. People that do this aren't authentic people. You will never find me changing my accent when I talk to different races of people. It's not something I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I can prove it, actually. I can prove it. Here's me talking to the largest black fraternity in America about Kamala Harris, and, well, it didn't go well for Kamala Harris. Any favorite Kamala Harris quotes?
Nope, y'all know any? No.
Kamala Harris quotes?
Don't know any. Sorry.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
What is your favorite Kamala Harris quote?
I don't have one.
You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
Stop it. Get some help.
Do you have a favorite Kamala Harris accomplishment?
Kamala Harris accomplishment. You know what? If I would have known of one, then I would have thought of one.
I just love the idea of exploring the unknown.
What is your favorite Kamala Harris accomplishment?
I'm not sure.
That's okay.
She wasn't,
What's your favorite Kamala Harris accomplishment? Favorite? Come on, she's vice president.